Hello, friends. My name is Alomgir. I'm a host of Chatting Away, where I chat with millennials of Bangladeshi heritage. Today, I'm chatting with Asif Ahmed, who's a very good friend of mine. I know him for 20 years, and he's doing amazing in his business. He's an entrepreneur, and so let's go. Let's chat. I'm ready to chat with him. Let's do it. Hello, Asif bhai. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Good, good. Thank you for joining the millennial conversation. Welcome to Chatting Away with Millennials of Bangladeshi Heritage. Um, let's get right into it. You are a businessman. You are an entrepreneur. You started your business very early on from the beginning, where you have struggled and you needed to put your foot down, and now your company is a multi-million-dollar company. So I just wanted to ask you the question that can you give us a little bit of thinking how you started and where you are today and the struggle that you went through?
Sure. First of all, very good morning to you. Thanks for having me. Let
Of
me
course.
have a sip of tea.
So why not me too?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, thanks for having me here. It's really humble that you think of me to have you in your shows. So basically, yeah, I have a business and we deal with refurbishing and repairing cell phones, also wholesale. Yes, we started pretty early, right after my college days. We started our business pretty small. We started with me and my partner, and then slowly we grow into right now a 40 employee business.
Wow.
Thank God. Um, and as you're saying, like I had to put my foot very early on. Yeah, so like after um, like college, when I was doing my master's, my partner was thinking we have been actually working together in a restaurant. That's when he pitched me that idea that let's do something together, and that's how we started. Started with small online uh, like accessories and everything, and then we slowly grew. I remember we had a 300 square feet basement office in Lower Manhattan, and right now we have a warehouse of 30,000 square feet
Wow.
in Brooklyn. So yeah, we're trying.
So I do remember, as I know you for almost 20 years, and we went through a college, but you were doing your master's and I was doing my undergrad in Queens College, and I know your partner also. Thinking of employing 40 people, how do you think of like, owning the whole thing and then going forward and having that kind of growth? What was the mindset like?
Um, First of all, I think the the big thing that you'll need is patience. In any kind of business, it's not nothing overnight. It's not like owning a lottery. So you'll need to wait. You need to put your effort. You need to put your time. You need to take the risk. That's another big thing. So two big things for behind any kind of business that is taking risk, and second is patience. So if you want to start a business from the scratch, you'll have to make sure that you're giving all your time, all your effort, but always be patient. It's gonna come, but it's gonna come slowly. Uh, Hardly any business, unless you're doing drug dealing, that's a different one. So any kind of business, you need patience.
And of course, we don't want to go into drug dealing.
Yeah, I have no experience in that. So, but normal business, any kind of business, you'll have to be patient, as I'm telling you again and again. When we started, we're not pulling out money like right away. We kept our money in there years after years. I would say like even before like our fourth or fifth year, that's when we started to see real growth.
Okay.
And up to that point, we had to be very patient. I understand sometimes you don't have option to wait that long, but you need to make sure that you have your backup, um, and that's how you grow.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, what the name of your business is, the Valor International, is that right?
Valor Internet, yes.
And you said you do refurbished business. So can you give us a little bit of your service and what exactly you are doing in that business?
Yes, so we basically work with insurance companies, like cell phone insurance company, like Assurant. So we get the phones that, I'll give you a like simple example.
Yeah.
You break a phone, like you buy a phone, you break a phone, like you break your screen or something,
Okay.
and you have insurance with your phone company. So you send the phone back, and they give you a refurbished phone because you have the insurance with them. So we get that broken phone and we fix it, we refurbish it. And that's the refurbished phone that you receive from the insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a kind of double dipping. We fix the broken phone, and we also supply the refurbished phone to the insurance companies. And also, we do wholesale of cell phones, like new cell phone and used cell phones.
So that's a side one. This is different from the fixing the phones, or is different supplier and everybody selling and
Yes. So basically, our business has different branches. Like one of them is refurbishing, repairing. One of them is also wholesale, and also we have retail and online selling.
Okay, and what is your main revenue coming from? The insurance?
Yes, the refurbishing and repairing.
And the 40 employees that you have, these are all full-time employees, or?
They're all full-time employees, yes.
Amazing. And so can you, talk about a little bit about your partnership, because you said you are partnered with a friend that you met early on. How did that come about, and what do you think of the partnership business?
It all depends. It all depends how you know somebody, how you trust somebody, and how capable is somebody. If you want to get into a partnership business, if you want to get into a partnership business and you don't have trust, or somebody is not as capable as you, or even more, then it's not going to work. You're definitely going to have problem. In my case, thank God, we have good understanding and we have similar capability, same mindset. That's how we get into it, and that's how we're running it so far. Uh, as I said, if you find somebody like that, it's fine. And it's always good to have somebody to share everything,
Right.
share the issues. I will say in business, you will have a lot of setbacks, a lot of issues. So if you're alone, sometimes it's hard. It hits you very hard. But if you have somebody to share those burdens, then it's better. But again, you have to have somebody who you know well, who you trust well, and who you know that have the same mindset as you and will share the same capabilities as you. Because if you are like capable of like, I will say like 10 and somebody is like 2, then no, it's not gonna work. So you have to have similar requirements, similar mindset, similar uh, qualification, all of this. It depends on the partnership.
But people say, partnership is like a marriage. What do you say to that?
It is. It is. I don't know what exactly they mean, but
Like,
partnership is like
it requires a lot of kind of compromise and a lot of give and take at some instance, and a lot of sacrifices it comes from both of the partner, where it has to be a mesh, right?
of course. That's why I was telling that you have to have same mindset.
Right.
You have to have same requirement. Let me give you an example. Like as I was telling me before, that before third or fourth years in my business, we didn't see the growth, or we were not pulling profit.
Right.
So if I and my partner like we decided to keep going with it, like we kept our money in there, we keep the business growing. But what if me or him, he was like, oh no, I need my money now. In that case, that would have been a problem. So that's why you have that same mindset that, you know what, I'm in this venture and I'm gonna go with it no matter what. So that's what you need. That's what you that's why they say it's kind of marriage, that you're in a relationship and you'll do whatever it takes.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, the growth and the success that you have accomplished, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish you all the success. You are in the right trajectory of getting in a very good place. It's not to say that you are not in good place, but you could always go farther. So as for you moving from Bangladesh to here, you grew up most of like your younger years in Bangladesh, and then you moved here and went to college and did your master's. What was the motivation to come to United States, and how was the journey of leaving everything and moving here?
Okay, so yeah, the motivation behind coming here was, as I can give you the book answer or I can give you the real answer, but I'll give you the real answer. Everybody comes here leaving everything behind in Bangladesh or any third world country is for better life.
Yes.
Basically. So that's why I came. Better study, better opportunities. That's why I came here. And also there was a little bit more motivation was that I had family members here. Tons of family members here, a lot of cousins. So they were here for a while. So we always had that urge to come here because we have seen, like people see you, you're living a good life over here and everything, you get excited. And also I wanted to study abroad. So when I came after my HEC in Bangladesh, I did my bachelor's and master's here. So
give a little detail on the process of coming here, applying for the visa, and what was that process like when you were a student, and how did you go about it?
Well, when I came uh, in 2020, 1990,
1998.
1999, sorry, I don't even remember. It's been a while.
Long time
So
ago.
the process was basically you apply to a college over here, any institution, and get an I-20, which is basically an invitation letter
Okay.
that yes, you're accepted if you come to our college, and then you take that thing and apply through the embassy. And
Okay.
oh, and of course, before that, at my time, it was you have to have a good educational background, you have to have good TOEFL score, everything, which thank God I had. So, and then you apply to embassy, and if they give you visa, you come here.
Okay. So that's not too bad. It's pretty smooth then.
It is smooth, but it's hard. Because at our time, the TOEFL was pretty hard to have a good score. That was the biggest issue that students from Bangladesh had. Like they didn't have enough TOEFL score. Because I don't know if you know, but in Bangladesh, English is not very common for students.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they will just have like written English and everything, but not the TOEFL is totally different, or was totally different. I don't think they have TOEFL right now, but back in that time, the TOEFL was pretty hard, so everybody was not getting a good score. And then also the educational background, like if you didn't have good results in your high school or college, which is HEC in Bangladesh, the embassy, like US embassy in Bangladesh, might not have given you a visa. So that was a hard thing to get.
And when you applied for the colleges in United States, you had to look into the international requirement for that college when you were applying, or it's just that you directly applied and they accepted, and then you had to figure out what is the international requirement to come into the United States?
No, of course, you have to look for the international student requirement. These days is super easy because you have everything on your fingertip. You just go to their website, you apply to them, you can even email them, fax them. But back in the days, like 20, 25 years ago, we had to do everything manually. Like we had to go to USIS, which is like a U.S. Embassy's information center. So you had to go there. They have the department of like U.S. colleges and universities. So you have to go through the catalogs and see who has the better program that you like, whoever has the good major and everything. So those things we had to do manually that these days you can do it very easy. Yeah. So
the process is much better now, of course.
Much better and much easier. So far, I think I haven't been to that process for a while. So, but so far I know everything is easier these days because of internet. Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah, I mean, every stage has its own struggle, I'm sure, but at least the process of communication got much better because of the technology. And that is great. And leaving everybody in Bangladesh, was that easy? Because right now we are a little more established in our own life, and thinking of leaving everything and going somewhere, even to another state, is just is something that you have to think through a lot. And moving from one country to another and leaving everything back there, because you have your childhood, you have your teenage years there, and then all of a sudden starting something new. How was that thinking like?
Well, I came here very young, like I would say younger than so many people, like when I was like 19 or 20.
Right.
And it was not that hard for me. Of course, it's hard um, for anybody to leave their family behind, right?
Right, right.
But when you come at a young age, it's like an adventure for you.
Right, 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 yeah.
You know, you're coming to study abroad. You have you're gonna make new friends. It's a different culture. You're gonna like learn new things. So this was kind of an adventure for
Right.
me. Yes. And as I said, also I had like a lot of my family members here, like cousins and everybody. So that helped. Of course, I miss my mom and dad, my brothers and sisters, but it's like that. When you come at a young age, it's much different, and I think it's easier than when you come here at a later age, like at your mid 40s or something. That affects a lot.
Right.
But when I came here at a young, I was super excited. So few years gone by with that excitement,
Right, right, of course.
that you didn't uh, miss that much. Of course, you miss everything back home, but still, it wasn't that bad.
What is
Yeah,
one thing?
just for me. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be same for everyone.
No, of course not. I know. This is about your story and the struggle that we all go through in unique way, and the things that we experiences.
Mhm.
So if you were to think back, what is one thing you missed the most when you were here at that time? Uh, what would you say?
I will say my friends, basically, besides family, of course,
Right.
that's given. But besides that, I will say hanging out with friends and everything. Like, in Bangladesh, uh, it's different. Like when you go to school or when you go to college, you don't like work. Like I was working part-time. Um, like you don't do that in Bangladesh, right? You
Right.
basically have a lot of fun and
Yeah.
a lot of hanging out with friends and study and everything. That's what I missed mostly.
Mostly, yeah.
But once I started to make friends here, um, and I started hanging out and everything, so then that thing somehow went down, somehow lessened a little bit.
Let's talk about a little bit about your childhood and the Bangladesh and your growing up, because as we grow older, the things that we do in our younger years, those are the memories that we start value so much and keep it in our heart. So give us a little sense of how you grew up and where you grew up, and what are those memories that you kind of keep it with yourself all the time.
Sure. I had for me, it was the best childhood anybody can ask for.
Man.
I grew up, I was born and I grew up in Khulna, um, especially to be exact, Khulna Nishpin Mills. That's where my dad used to work. Um, it was a beautiful place. In place like Bangladesh, to have something so unique and so developed. It was a privilege for us to grow up there. I went to school, my high school there, like my kindergarten, my middle school, high school, everything there. And they had so much facilities and opportunities in there. So we had a great time. I had, we have great bonding with our, all my dad's colleagues and neighbors. Uh, had a great school, great teachers, great sports facilities and everything. So I was very privileged in my childhood. So I had my best memories, as you said, like anybody, the best childhood memories. Uh, kind of, I was very um, naughty, to be exact.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like you might not see that in me now, but I was very a big troublemaker
Okay.
in school. Not like that kind of trouble. It's like, you know, school, like you do a lot of small things that annoy teachers and everything. Those kind of trouble making. Uh, got away with a lot of stuff because I was okay in my studies. But yeah, lot of memories. I don't know how to start, to be honest.
I mean, you were the good thing is that you were good with your education, and on the side you would do all these activities that have fun. What were the how did you kind of manage those time, and how did you utilize it? Because those are actually a very one of the great lesson to have as you are growing up, because time management and being able to utilize it properly as a student, and then being able to do all these activities to have fun, and having that early on, I mean, that says a lot. And you were able to navigate that well. And where did you, do you know where you got it, or is something that happened naturally to you?
I think it just happened naturally to me, and I was, I will say, very smart with my time management. And whatever I used to do, I used to do very like with focus. That was the main thing. Like in Bangladesh, you will see students studying like 10 hours, 20 hours, like all day. They're just studying, studying, studying.
Right.
My thing was I used to study from Maghrib to 9 p.m., which was like, I would say 3 hours, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that was my study for the day, no matter what. After 9 p.m., I would have been like right in front of TV. And my mom and dad was very supportive because they saw that whatever I did in that 3 hours was more than enough to get good results. So my thing was like, everybody was like, how come you were like studying only 3 hours and doing good at studies? It's like, if I study for 10 hours and don't focus, then that 10 hours doesn't make any sense. But if you do, even now I do the same thing. Whatever you do, you focus, then those 3 hours is more than enough. Be smart. Don't just waste your time and like spend your time long time. That don't make any sense. Spending long time without focus is nothing. So that's why I had so much time to have fun in my childhood time. Like I used to do all kind of sports. I used to do all kind of cultural activities. I was in debate club and all the stuff. So, but a lot of my friends didn't have that time, or that extra time for extracurricular activities, which is very important. I think when you grow up, you will see that like in your life, those extracurricular activities, it will help you to go further. So
Yeah,
you should
absolutely.
spend your time smartly, not just longer.
Yeah, I mean that was the kind of a thing. When I was in Bangladesh and studying for any kind of exam or anything, also neighbor will talk about the kid who would spend like very few
Right.
hours of the study, and they're like, oh, how come that kid is like, oh, spend like
He's
only,
playing
doesn't
outside.
even study and always playing, and he ends up doing so well. And I think that is the key, being present in the moment and
Yeah.
being able
And
to
focus.
focus, right? And if you are not focused, it doesn't matter whether you're studying 8 hours or 10 hours.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, that is a very important point that you brought up. That's very good that whatever you do, be in the present, so you are able to narrow the time and be able to do more with your time. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. As for you, when I was, you moved to United States, and we were in college, we were doing activities. There are
Mhm.
times that we did a play together. There are times that we did. I have a little bit of this urge in my heart also, that where I like to do those things. But I saw that in you, that you like being into music or drama or any kind of artistic field. You had that urge into it. But as you grow older, you kind of, even though you participate or you attend, but you kind of disappear, I would say. I don't know if you have it still, but you kind of moved away from it. What happened?
Um,
I feel like it, but I know. Please
I
talk.
know. Yes, like I guess it's when you grow older, you get into uh, responsibilities. You get into your other priorities, and family and everything. So yeah, it got a little backtrack. That I used to participate in a lot of stuff, a lot of activities in college days and stuff. But I still enjoy those things, like music. Uh, Especially if you see me, you'll see me in concerts
Right.
all the time. Like I attend as much as I can because I love that kind of stuff. That some people they don't do. They get into their priorities so much that they forget to enjoy whatever they like.
Right.
That I try not to do. I try not to forget whatever I enjoy those stuff. So it's still in me. But yeah, as you
Is it
said,
coming back? Are you gonna see that more now that you are, you have more, little more leeway of doing those things, right?
um, again, I was not a professional anything, so it's not like something that I'm gonna like go back and record a song or something. But
Why not?
I take part stuff like when we're with friends and everything. I do stuff. I not maybe professionally, but they're still in me, and also we always talk among our friends to do this, do that.
Right.
Sometimes never happens, but we're planning something. Hopefully, we'll come together sometimes.
Yeah, well, especially I would love to see those things, because if you don't do it, who else will do it, right? It's
Uh, um, Another thing is like you need sometimes you can't do it alone. Sometimes
right.
you need little help. Thank God my wife is very supportive about anything I want to do. So hopefully it will come along shortly.
Yeah,
And
look forward to seeing it.
yeah,
I'll be,
I mean, in college days, you were
yeah.
my main character in my drama, so in my play. So
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Yeah, you were directing and acting. That's good. I would like to see
yeah,
more of that. And inshallah, if you
yeah,
come along to do something, I'll be there. Um,
of course.
so yeah, I mean, we end up doing putting those passion or the love that or hobby in the back because of the other responsibilities that we have. And at some point, if we can come back to it, because those are the ones that give us a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, and doing those make us a little more, we feel like fulfilling the life. um, so
Yes,
let's
everybody
talk.
should have something of passion. That's very important. Yes, you make money and you get a job and everything, but if you can come back to it, that's a blessing. If you can
Right,
come back
right.
to it, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and especially this generation, right? We're getting into a point where we can come back to it because a previous generation worked very hard for us to get us here. Like I met a lot of our friends, family is doing struggling, but they're going to college, finishing education. Now they're establishing themselves and being able
Yeah.
to move forward the generation. So this is the segue of talking about the generation a little bit. How do you see our generation is progressing, and um, do we have a responsibility of taking it, and what is that responsibility?
I think, mashallah, our generation is doing much better than before.
Right.
That's my belief. Because I have seen the younger generation in my family. They're doing great studies, great with work and everything. Of course, they have that advantage of get born here and everything, but still they're doing really, really great. And as an older generation or earlier generation, I won't say older. Uh,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
earlier
You're
generation.
still to produce a lot more.
Yeah, I don't want to put that much weight on me. So yeah, so our responsibility is to guide the new generation, the generation that's coming from Bangladesh at a younger age, the generation who was born here. So we have that responsibility to guide them a little bit,
Right.
not give too much on them or don't put too much on them, like culture wise and everything, but we need to guide them a little bit. Um, they need our help sometimes, and that's when we come into the picture. I don't like uh, preaching people
Right.
too much. So I don't want to preach the generation like do this, do that, but sometimes they need a little like push, and that's what we can provide as an earlier generation with experience
Right.
about everything. Like especially me, if you look at me, I have that experience of coming at a younger age to from Bangladesh, getting settled here, getting education and everything. So I have the responsibility to guide who are coming
Right.
at the same age, doing the same thing. So I can um, give my experience or share my experience to those people
Right.
and help them. So that's our responsibility as an earlier generation, and also to those kids that are born here, we can share our culture a little bit with them. As I said, I hate to preach and push them to be like total, Bangladeshi,
Right. Right.
and do everything Bangladeshi. That's not how it works. So you have to understand where they're coming from, and that's how we can share our experience, and that's our responsibility.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And also, we could look into there are, every country, be it European or Asian countries, they have their own culture, and we can see it like Italian or French or German or Greek. They are here. They are here much earlier than us, and they also have a very strong culture. Like you can think about like Italian culture, right? And they're still very strong on their the core culture of belief, and how they adjust in this country, how they assimilate. And we can take a lesson or two from them, how the Italian generation coming from one after another, but still taking the root, their own is still there. They can kind of say that, we are Italian American, they're not just letting go saying that I am American. They still have that little connection there. Why do you
Yes, and
why do you think that is happening,
basically, for those, as you're saying, the Italian American or African American, or you have to have that pride in it,
right?
To call yourself. So some, like we Bangladeshis, we don't. A lot of people don't have that pride. We don't like to call ourselves Bangladeshi American. We want to call ourselves only American. It's nothing wrong, but if you want to keep your culture or progress your culture, you need to have that pride in it.
Right.
So
to have the pride, we also have to define, right, what are the things that we need to, as a Bangladeshi American, what are the things that we need to focus on, the positive side of Bangladesh?
Exactly, positive side of Bangladesh. What is culture? Culture is basically the food, the festivities, the way you dress and stuff. These are all part of culture, right?
Right.
And so you have to carry this in here with your family and everything. It doesn't mean that you just do this.
Right.
And some people here, they're so much into Bangladeshi culture that they don't accept the American culture, that you must.
But you were here.
When you are in here, you have to, mix and match sometimes. Like you're doing your culture, of course, but don't forget about American culture. You have to adapt to it too.
Right.
And I have seen, even in my friends and family thing, they push their kids so much for Bangladeshi culture. Oh, this is your culture, you have to do it, and forget about everything else. It's not going to work. As you mentioned, Italian culture, they're in the mainstream of America. It's not that they're forgetting everything about America and doing everything Italian. No. So that's how we can, bring our culture here, mix it with American, and progress in a nice way.
Right. Yeah.
So, of course, we are doing everything culture. We can do Poila Boishakh and we can do Thanksgiving. It's not
exactly.
It's not either or. So keeping your culture alive doesn't mean that you have to forget everything else.
Right. Yeah. And I think that is the good. I feel good conversation to have, either with your friends, with your kids, not in a demeaning way. Oh, that culture is bad or this culture is bad. Take a good from both culture and move forward. Right. Take good things from our culture and take good thing from what America is providing, and and let's mash it together and move forward. I think that would be
Exactly. I always say, like, even when I was in Bangladesh, I used to say that, culture is for people. People are not for the culture. So if culture has something strong, people will accept it no matter what.
right.
So if the culture, something is not strong, then obviously people are gonna forget it, or people are gonna do something else, right?
Right.
So, and you have to always get the good things out of any culture. And you have to do it slowly, especially for those kids that are born here.
Right.
Uh, you have to go slow. You can't just, pressure them to accept everything from Bangladeshi culture. It's not how it works.
Yeah,
Like,
and they end up
yeah,
having an identity crisis
of
because then
course,
they
of course.
start having two different kind of life. One is at home and one is at outside, because then they start hiding things like, oh, I cannot share what I'm doing outside of because my parents or my grandparents are not accepting that side of the culture. And if you are have if you I mean each kid or each generation will have this own struggle, but if we are having a honest conversation, it is to be that will be a good way to move forward.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that is amazing, and I look forward to seeing the generation how they are able to come together and move this our culture farther. And at the same time, the America provides that opportunity. Like for example, especially in New York now, what we have seen, like when we were in high school or college years, when we were doing Eid or celebrating Poila Boishakhi, there was that uh, uh, the sense of there is not that much uh, or people celebrating because they are too busy with their own life, or not that many people are here. But in New York, you can get that sense right now. Oh, there's a Poila Boishakhi, or there's a Eid happening, or there's that celebration of Independence Day, because of the amount of people are here, and because of the way the policymakers are allowing us to enjoy those time. And we have to
and
thank.
also, as you're saying, I just wanted to add that, especially in the US, people like, I'm talking about American people or non-Bangladeshis, they actually know more, much more than before about this cultural stuff.
Right.
Like, if you had a like Pohela Boishakhi Mela somewhere back like 20 years before, the people here will be like, oh my God, what is this? What's going on?
Right.
But these days, like after 20 years, because of the technology and everything, a lot of people know a lot about these cultures. Like they actually take part in this stuff.
Right.
Like
Right.
if you go to, like, even in our college when we did Boishaki Mela, like a lot of non-Bangladeshi students attended and everything. So like these days it's way more than that. Like they take part in those cultural stuff. They love it.
Right.
So it's and uh, the kids who were born here, um, they're into it too. Like before, those people were born here, they're like totally American, But these days, they're not ashamed, or they're not like embarrassed. Like, oh, I'm going to a Boshaki Mela. What people will think, I'm American, blah blah blah. But these days, even the kids are getting into it.
Oh,
They're yeah.
those are. I mean, that's also. That's the one of the reasons you should be in New York, right? Because
Even outside of New York, I have seen in Texas, I have seen in Colorado and everything. Like they're doing a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of they're doing openly. That's why before it was kind of like, at your backyard, that's it, you know.
Right.
But these days, they're not like, I don't know if ashamed is the right word, but they're not ashamed to do this kind of stuff in open. Yeah.
And we should also recognize that there are people who pushed for it before from our previous generation, and that's why we are able to also experience this whole
it's coming slowly.
yeah,
Because we need to
because someone
understand.
pushed for it, and we are able to get off on Eid day, from the
Yeah. And I will say, like, it will take time because
Right.
we're very new in this country.
Right.
We're a very young country to begin with,
Right.
and then we're very new in this country. We started coming here like what,
80s,
60s,
70s,
70s?
yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're talking about Italians. They've been here for 150 years. So comparing to them, we're pretty new. So it's coming there very slowly, but it will definitely come there.
All right, so yeah, that's great. We look forward to keeping the conversation going about our heritage. So now, in our final segment, we have I want to talk to you about a little bit about friendship, and I'll give you a few words, and you tell me what you think of it. I want to touch base on our friendship a little bit. Is that you've been there for me, in many cases, and either I acknowledge to you directly or not, but I know that you were there. You are one of the friend who I kind of can count without even thinking that he or she, without thinking that you are thinking of getting anything in return. And that's a huge thing to have. And I have seen you throughout having your friends. For example, you have a lot of friends. And
there are too many, but yeah.
And there is that sense of people saying that you only need one good friend. How do you go about maintaining that many friends and having that kind of good relationship?
The friendship that you find, I don't think you find friendship, it just happens. And it's just similar mindset. That's is the biggest thing in friendship. Like as we have been friends for years, it's nothing that we planned or anything. It just clicked, right? So that's how friendship starts. That's how friendship develops. And so whatever I look in the friendship or someone I want to be friends with, it's basically similar mindset. We want to talk about something that we have interest in, same kind of topics, same kind of hobbies and everything. And that's how it is. I mean, it just clicks.
Do you have any principal guidance where, like, okay, this kind of friend, 10 years ago, he was that way. Now he has changed that way. Then it falls out of my principles. So I cannot be in that zone. So I have to, that friend has to fall,
Of course. It's, as I said, it's the same mindset. If it changes, it's either your or the friend's mindset changes, then of course it's not gonna go well, and you slowly fall out of it.
Right.
When I started, or when we became friends 20 years ago, it was a different situation, right? We're all in college, working, part-time, normal stuff, doing lots of activities and stuff. And then as the time goes on, you're in a different mindset. You have families, priorities, kids, and everything. So a lot of things comes into the picture, and it changes as you go along. But as I said, if you have same mindset and everything, I don't think it's gonna fall out. I've been friends with same friends for more than 20 years. Yeah. So as you change, they change as well.
Right.
So it works out.
Your growth is important. Yeah, I mean, sometimes things fall apart, and if both friends are growing together, and the change of mind and change also, the change is important in a person, because as you grow, you learn and you experience, and and if the friend is also growing, changing, experiencing, then I think it kind of works together. But if one is stuck and the other person is growing, then it just falls apart.
Yes.
Yeah. So in our final segment, I'll just give you 5 words, and you just tell me what comes in your head, and what do you think of that specific subject. So let's start with politics of Bangladesh.
Complicated.
We talked about this. Friendship.
Trust.
Family.
Communication. Very important.
Happiness.
Happiness is whatever you love, and be content.
And the final is what do you call education.
Important. Very important. Yeah.
Do you want to sing a song to end this?
No.
Because I know you are a great singer. I want to hear a lyric or two that you love.
No, I'm not a great singer. I'm just a silent singer. Like I sing like within me. It's not that I do professionally. So yeah,
No.
very embarrassing.
So anyway, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and it's a conversation that we want to keep going, and thank you for giving the time, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Of course, thank you so much for having me, and it was a pleasure to share my life story with you. Hopefully, people watching it, somebody will get something out of it and get some help.
Yeah.
And if any kind of specific help needed, you can always reach me, and I will try my best to provide my guidance.
Oh, thank you so much. That would be great. Yeah, of course. Thank you for your positive experience in the and sharing it with us. Right?
Thank you, Alomgir.
Right.
বিদ্বেষ ভুলে সবাই মানবতার পথে চলি।